What's up, family? Welcome to episode two of Crack the Score. So, last video, I showed y'all how to download and get your full and complete consumer report from annualcreditreport.com. In this video, we're going to look at where to find your personal information on each of the reports, how to highlight it, and I'm also going to give y'all some tips on how to write what we call a PI letter or personal information removal letter that you're going to send to each of the consumer reporting agencies. Okay. Now you do also have the option of simply calling each consumer reporting agency and having them remove all of this personal information while you're on the phone. Okay. So you're going to have two options. You can either call or you can send in a letter. Both options work. Sometimes, some people, if you want, you can do both of them. You can call and send in a letter just so that you can make sure they got everything taken off. And the reason we always start with the annual credit report is because it's going to show you every name, every phone number, every address. All right. So let's take a look at my Experian report. Yes, it's a little old. This is from 2020, but the layout is still the same even today. All right. So as you can see, this is the end goal. This is how you want your consumer report to look when you're done. Okay. You see here my personal information. I got one version of my name. This is how it appears on my photo ID. All they got on me is my birth year, one address, one employer, and this not even the employer I work at anymore. Okay. Here, personal statements, no personal statements. You never want to have any personal statements on your consumer report. Why? Because it doesn't help you. It literally doesn't do anything. Okay. So this is Experian. Let's go to Equifax. Now, Equifax is very different because their personal information is close to the bottom or the end of your consumer report. So boom, right here, we're at personal information. You'll see here, this is page 88 out of 98. So you'll want to go to the bottom of your consumer report with Equifax in particular to get to your personal information. As you see here, name, boom, how it is on my ID. First name, middle name, last name, they have a social, they have a birthday. You see here, everything else is empty. You know what I'm saying? I'm hiding from them with this joint. Feel me? So contact information, that would be like emails and phone numbers. They don't have that on it. Employment history, this is where I used to work. They don't have that on it. Why? Because I removed it. There's no reason for them to have who I worked with or who I worked for. There's no reason for them to have any of my phone numbers. Okay? Formerly known as. That would also, here in this little area right here, you would have various versions of your name. You want that empty. They don't need to have any other version of your name. See what I'm saying? They don't need that. So boom, we also going to go to TransUnion. Now TransUnion is also at the top. You see, I was marking this joint up crazy right here. So TransUnion personal information section is at the top. Okay. Here they got, you're going to have a file number. They got your date of birth. They got your social. You're going to have your names and various versions of your names. It's going to have your address. If you got more than one address, it's going to list it line by line. You got phone numbers. You see, I got two phone numbers on file. And you see, they also gave me multiple, well, not, they didn't give me, sorry. They have multiple employers listed along with the date hired and the date that this was verified. So you see this going all the way back to 2006 with your boy. Boom. So here on this one in particular, I did not clean up my employer data. So this is why they have multiple employers. Okay. This is also good time to point out that each consumer reporting agency will have different information about you in their system. As you can see here, TransUnion has the most data regarding my employers, whereas Equifax doesn't have any. Experian only has one, right? So it's going to they're going to have different information. So once you see and looked at what information they have, you're wondering, well, how do I know what names and addresses to remove? Okay, you're going to look at your photo ID. You're going to get a photo ID and a proof of address. Proof of address includes your utility bill. It can also include a bank statement. It could include your insurance policy. Okay. What type of insurance policy? You know, your auto insurance. You don't need to show them your life insurance. That's crazy. It could be just like your auto insurance, right? That has your name and address on it. So that's going to be proof of address. And then of course your photo ID or passport or a identification card, if you know you don't have a driver's license. And what you want on your credit report, you only want your name and address. So going back to my experience, you really only want it to look like this. You want this joint to be bare bones. Only thing they're going to have on you is a name, birth date, address. This employer, if I was pressed, I would remove this, but I don't work here no more, so it's whatever. So you want to have your name the exact way it appears on your photo ID, and you want to have your address the exact way that it appears on your photo ID. Now, I understand that a lot of people are slow to update their photo ID. So your proof of address may not match your photo ID. You're going to say, well, Jamal, what do I do in this situation? You got a couple of options, okay? First option is you update your address on your photo ID. Very simple. So that your photo ID and your proof of address can match. That way you'll have one address on your consumer report. If you don't want to do that, then you're just going to have those two addresses on your consumer report, or you're going to want to find a proof of address that matches your photo ID. Let's say you don't want to change your photo ID and you have another form of proof of address that can match your photo ID. Okay, so for what do I mean by that? Some people, they may have a utility bill that says 123 Main Street, but then they have a bank statement that says 345 Main Street. If your photo ID says 123 Main Street, then you're going to choose the proof of address that also says 123 Main Street. That way, when you send this to the consumer reporting agencies, they will have that one address on file for you. Okay. So you went through, you looked at your personal information on each of your consumer reports. And so for me, what I did, because this is digital, I just went through, you see, I put an X. I just start for, now this is for an example. I put an X near everything that I want removed. Okay. This way it's clearly outlined to them when they receive this document along with my letter. Don't forget, we're sending this with the letter, y'all. I'm sending this with the letter. I can mark it up, and I'll be sending this to them marked up so they know exactly what data points I want removed. Now, this is Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Acrobat, whatever. Now, if you can't do this digitally like I have here, not a problem, because you're gonna be printing this joint out anyway. Print out your personal information, however many pages that is. I wouldn't print out the entire report because that's, who wants to waste all that paper? Only print out the section that's showing that shows your personal information. So that may be 2 pages, 3 pages, 5 pages, right? However many pages it is that your personal information takes up. We're gonna print all those out and you show y'all a copy or an example of this very simple personal information deletion letter. All right. So boom, super easy. You're gonna have your name, you're gonna have your address, you're gonna have your date of birth, your social security number. You're going to date it. Okay. Here, you're going to have the address of Experian or Equifax or TransUnion. Okay. Me personally, I would do one letter per consumer reporting agency because just like we see here or we saw on the other on the previous screen, each consumer reporting agency is going to have a different amount of data. So you don't want to send a blanket letter to all three, and each agency has different information on you, right? You want the letter customized to what's to that exact consumer reporting agency, right? So here we put RE. RE is just in regards to or in response to remove inaccurate information from consumer file. Okay. Then boom, very simple. My only name is your name as it appears on your photo ID. My address is address as it appears on your photo ID. If you see, I didn't mention anything about phone numbers. I didn't mention anything about employers. Why? Because I'm getting that off. We getting that joint deleted. We don't need that on our consumer report. It doesn't behoove us in any way, shape, or form. So very simple statement here. I reviewed a copy of my consumer report as a slew of inaccurate information and addresses that aren't mine. I need you to delete these names and addresses. Then I break down each and every section, okay? The following names are not mine and has never been mine. That's incorrect grammar. So has, if it's one name, have is, if it's plural. So boom, bad grammar, you can fix it, no problem, whatever. Please delete. And then you'll just list out your old or inaccurate names, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Next, I do not work at these places. Please delete. Then you're going to list all your jobs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. The following addresses are not mine and are inaccurate. You're going to list all your old addresses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. These numbers are not mine. Please delete. Then you're going to list each phone number, right? Now, this one, most people don't have multiple spouses listed. So I just put you as in the consumer reporting agency, have name, that's going to be whatever name they put in the area of spouse. So you have name listed as my spouse, but I've never been married. Please delete the spouse information. Now, this is a Word document, y'all. If it don't apply, then just delete it from the letter, okay? Just in case someone's like, well, I've never been married. Exactly. Just delete this whole sentence. If there's nothing in spouse, delete it. If there's nothing in phone numbers, if there's nothing in addresses, just delete that portion that doesn't apply to you, right? Very easy, very simple. Y'all smart. I believe it. Right. So the last paragraph simply says delete all the requested information above from my consumer file. A consumer file is the same as a consumer report, same as a credit report. Same thing, different terms to referring to that thing, right? I've included photo ID, because you're going to include your photo ID and proof of address, right? We spoke about that, along with my date of birth and social security number, because that's at the top of the letter, right? You have that at the top of the letter. You have everything you need to perform a proper investigation. Mail me a copy of my consumer report once the deletions have been made. Sincerely, your name. You don't need to sign it. Remember, when you include this letter, you're going to print out and have a very clear photo of your ID attached, not the actual photo. If you have a scanner, then just Xerox that joint, make a copy of it, print it out, or take a picture of it, print it out. Same thing with your proof of address. Pull up, get any proof of address that's a clear copy of it so that they can read it. Okay, that means don't make it blurry, don't make it too small, don't make it too big, don't have a glare on it so it's not legible. You want them to be able to see it super clear. Okay, because you need this to be a one and done situation. You don't want to keep going back and forth with them because the documents that you sent were blurry or twisted or altered or they can't read it, right? You want this very clear. Okay. And so you're going to print out this letter. You're going to print out photo ID. You're going to print out the proof of address, and going back to our credit report, you're going to print out that credit report. Now, if you were able to mark it up in Adobe, cool. It's already going to be marked up like this. You just print that joint out, put it with your packet, right? If it's not already marked up, then you're going to mark it up by hand, put it with the packet. Now, when you mark it up by hand, I highly suggest that you scan it with your phone, or take a clear picture of it with your phone. That picture is going to be for your records. Okay, that way, if something happens and they try to give you a stall letter, try to say that, oh, you didn't send this or didn't send that, whatever, you have evidence of exactly what you sent. If you have a nice copier / scanner, you can copy and scan the entire packet into your computer, save it as a file, right? And this is all just in case they try to give you the runaround, or say they didn't get it, or say it wasn't clear, or something like that. Okay, always make copies, keep copies of everything that you send for yourself as evidence. Always, always, always. All right. So that's really about it for removing personal information. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Was there anything I left out? Have you done this? What has your experience been with removing personal information? Okay. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. Leave me some data points, and maybe your comment can help someone else who sees this video. Okay. Share this to other people if you found value in it. And I'll see y'all in the next video. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to read your consumer report. All right. Talk to you later.